first thing I notice is that he's got Aftershock, which is really troll. Because Malphite can't actually proc Aftershock unless he ults. So
Yeah.
he's got a dead keystone to level 6, and even then he doesn't have a keystone for like his ult's like what a fucking 120 second. Yeah, he's got 2-minute cooldown on his keystone. So it should be pretty easy to kill him if he makes a mistake because he doesn't have a keystone to fight back with you with. He can't. So like Malphite can be uh, a very different lane based on whether or not he has Comet or Grasp, because if he has Grasp, he's obviously going to be trying to max E and slow your attack speed, so that's hard to trade against him. Whereas if he has something like Comet, he's going to just press King on you over and over again. So it's good that he doesn't have either of those there, because it makes both of those make the lane harder, obviously, than having a Keystone that's pretty much dead.
Yeah.
Hold on a sec. Okay. Why the fuck is my FPS so low? What the hell? Alright, we're good. Never mind. I think we're okay now. Alright, so let's see. I need to see what you did with the wave. Oh, let me screen share too. I forgot to fucking hit that button. I'm retarded.
Oh yeah, no, I loaded it on my. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
alright. Screen share so you can see what I'm talking about easier. I don't know why my FPS is so low, but should be
What's up?
fine. Alright, so he walks in the lane from right there. Okay, yeah. So what I would recommend you to do, this wouldn't have worked this game, but in like lots of other games it would have. So Urgot starts red lots of the time as jungler. So if he's starting red, you know that the top lane is probably gonna leash him. So if you sit in this bush right here, you can cheese him really hard, because he's gonna walk in and he's gonna have a vital that spawns either right here or right here, because I don't know if you're aware of this, but vitals, the first vital of a lane always spawns on blue side, so it's gonna spawn like to the left or to the or to like down right here.
Mhm.
So the first vital always spawns like that. So you're going to he's gonna walk in this bush and he's automatically gonna have a favorable vital for you. So you're gonna hit it and then you're gonna be able to use your Q to get to the back one, and then you can just do that
Yeah.
over and over again while he's running up, and he's gonna run to his turret, and you're either gonna kill him or force his flash, or you're gonna chunk him and make him use all of his pots. So trying to do that is optimal in like almost every single lane if they're releasing red. So we want to
Mhm.
do that if possible. And like I said with like the first vital always spawns on blue side. I don't know if you know this, but I'm going to say it anyways. The first vital always spawns on blue, and then it always swaps from red to blue over and over again. Yeah, it always goes back and forth. The actual position of the vital is random, like whether it's a left blue vital or a bottom blue vital is completely random. But if it was just a blue vital and you hit it, you know that like say you hit this vital here, you know that it's going to be either right here or right here every single time. So you
Yeah.
want to get in the habit of like getting the muscle memory of walking around your opponent like that. So like with enough games, eventually it just becomes like second nature to just like hit the vital and just go around the other side over and over again. So you let the wave just do its thing, which is okay because you don't really want to be doing anything weird against Malphite.
Yeah.
What I would have done is we don't know what his runes actually are, but we know that since he's got resolve, he's most likely got bone pudding. So what I like to do if I see my opponent has resolve, is that if I'm not in a position to just get like randomly punished for what I'm doing, like when he walks up to the minions like that, you should try
Mhm.
and get at least a Q off on him. Generally, you want to Q auto because he's not gonna be able to punish back. He's got Q, so he's gonna Q you for like 50 damage, and you're going to knock off his shield here, which is pretty important because if you want to go for an early trade or an early all in, you want to shield off, and it's going to proc his bone plating, which is also really important for early all ins, because if they have bone plating up, you're going to no damage for your first 3 attacks, and that's where a lot of your upfront damage is. So if they have the bone plating up and you go for an all in or a trade, they're going to win it very hard. So when they walk up for the minions at level 1, if they've got resolve, try and hit them with a Q to knock the bone plating off. And if they don't have bone plating, it's whatever. You get Q damage. You maybe take like 2 hits from casters. It's not a big deal. So what I don't like is that so we know that he didn't leash red because we saw him walk in the lane, and we know that their bot lane leashed blue because we saw him walk in the lane late. So what I don't like is that you're pushing this because you know that Urgot's going to be top soon, and this is Urgot is actually like Urgot Malphite is something that actually has a lot of kill pressure on you in a 2v1 because well obviously one it's a 2v1 but Urgot Urgot's going to just like shred you, because the Malphite's going to attack speed slow you, and if you don't parry that, then the Urgot's going to shred you while you can't trade back with attack speed slow. But then if you do parry the attack speed slow from Malphite, then Urgot's just going to hit you with disease. So 2v1s for you are kind of a lose-lose. So
Yeah.
you want to try and keep your lane on this side of the. You want to try and keep your wave on this side of the lane so that Urgot can't just kill you for free. So right there, I would have gone in right there, like right as soon as you level 2. It's because if you're counting minions, you should know that you're going to hit level 2 first. Shit, didn't mean to hit record. Because you always hit level 2 off of 7 minions, so the first wave and then 1 melee. So you know that you're gonna hit level 2 right here, and what's lucky is that the vital is switching for you right when you go, so you can queue up right there. When he goes for that Q, you can punish him really hard. You can Q auto him, and then he went W, you went E second. So if he tries to E you, you can parry it, and then you can just keep wailing on him because he's got attack speed slow and he's move speed slowed as well. So you just hit him a bunch and get your conk up.
Oh, okay.
And what's great about that trade too is that when you get conk up that early like that, you can try and keep it up in lane because obviously your kill pressure with conk up is way greater than without because of the bonus ID and stuff it gives. So if you get conk stacked in an early trade like that, you should try and use your Q to hit the Malphite over and over so that way you can keep your conk up just in case you do go for an all-in because he makes a mistake. It'll be way easier to actually kill him. Shit, I need to toggle scoreboard. Alright, so you should know that Urgot is like topside right now. It should like
Yeah.
he's topside right now. We almost guaranteed to know it unless he like focused the bot side did some weird shit. The standard clear would be that he's topside right now. So pushing up like this is pretty risky, but because of what you did with the wave level 1, you can't really avoid it. But I imagine you don't get ganked. I had to guess from what his pathing is like.
I think I did, but pretty sure I did get, just not at the moment.
So since
I
you're
think after Raptors.
so Malphite is thinning the wave, which is odd. I would just, if I was him, I'd just let it slow push and let you deal with the jungle pressure yourself. So since he was thinning it there, what I would have done is I would have tried to, like I'm kind of doing now, is I would have just tried to just fully clear those minions to try and get it to the turret, and then maybe go for a little cheat recall. Because that way you don't have to worry about the jungle pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is where Urgot comes getting after the scuttle crap.
Yeah, at this point your ward is down, and you know that the jungler is most likely topside. Because the way that like the scuttle spawns at 310 now, so you know that he's probably topside, doing one of the scuttles. Should be pretty easy for you to get out of this. Okay. I would just help her push this. I don't know what she's doing. You should just push this wave and then recall, because it'll the minions will out the Malphite and it'll form up a slow push onto your side. Leaving the minions like that is pretty unfortunate. You really need to, like I don't know what Shiv doing. You should just like say fuck Shiv at this point.
Yeah, I know. I told myself that after.
Because like if you had pushed this wave, you can recall, and then this wave is gonna push right back to you, and it's gonna slow push and build up. And those two champs can't really dive you very effectively, so you don't have to worry about slow pushes being bad for you. So
Yeah,
you're just
after that I was kind of sad because I was doing well with CS, and then I just went to shit after that.
Yeah, right here I just try to push the wave too, like just walk, like, cause he's out of mana especially, so you can just walk up and hit the minions over and over again. Cause see the minions aren't quite in turret range, so it's not ideal. And you can honestly force his flash here. Cause he's got a front vital, he's got aftershock, and his bone plating's down. See right there, cause you can see that you can click on their you can click on them and see the bone plating on their tooltip, the cooldown.
Mm-hmm.
So if you let's see. So right here, he's tanking the minion wave especially. So if like at this point, because the minions didn't die to turret, actually, it's kind of good for you because he walks up to hit these, and he's walking up with a front frontal like this, and he's in this minion wave. If he hits you to try and trade back at all, the minions are going to all turn to him. So if you walk up like this, you just sit like right here, because you know this isn't in turret range because the minions aren't getting hit. So if you walk up right behind this minion, you can QAA this, and then he's gonna try and hit you back. He's gonna take minion aggro, and then you can force him to recall and use his TP, and then you won't have to use your TP because your minions are to be pushed. So you won't have to use your TP because you can go back and buy 2-1 boots and get back in time for the wave. But he's gonna have to use his TP to get back. So you can force his TP, and you can probably force his flash too because you do have kill pressure on him here when he walked up like that.
Yeah.
And we also know that the jungler is chunked because we saw the idiot play that Shiv did here, which actually kind of working in your benefit here, of that where Shiv just walks up and chunks this guy and almost dies. So we know that the jungler is chunked and he's either really low HP or he's recalled, which means he's going to be heading towards bot side because we should know that his bot side is spawning because he started bot side.
Yeah.
So being aggressive is really like it isn't like there's no way you can get punished for it unless you just like sit in your turret and die, which there really should never be a reason to right now. So now it was slow pushing back to you, but Malphite's been trimming, you've been trimming as well. You're really just not being aggressive enough, to be honest. You're not like you've gotten a lot of like favorable vitals where you can go for pretty free trades, but you just aren't going for them. So I would definitely say to just like
Be a bit more aggressive.
Yeah, especially because you're Silver 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, especially
sadly.
no, it's okay. Especially because like I don't want to. I hesitate to tell you this because it's technically playing suboptimally, but I feel like you would honestly get more leads and get better leads if you would just like play like crazily aggressive, because most junglers in this elo have no fucking clue what they're doing. I'm just gonna be honest. They have no idea what they're doing, and they probably will not know how to punish you. So for every like 1 or 2 games where you're going to get like hard camp by a jungler who's like, oh, this Fiora is playing great and aggressive, I can just sit on it for free kills. For every 1 or 2 games that happens, yeah, it sucks, but you're probably going to have 10 where you just get like 3 kills in lane. You can snowball off that. So what I would try to do is I would try to just play really aggressive for a few games, see how it works out for you. If it doesn't work out for you, you can go back to stuff like this. But especially in a game like this too, where like they've got Yasuo, Jinx, and Malphite. Your team is never going to win past like 30 minutes unless you get ahead and you can do something with it. So this is one of those games where you pretty much have to get a lead in lane, or you're going to lose because of how insane their scaling is and how insane their team fight is. Because even if you try to split against this team comp, Malphite's just gonna say, okay, we can lose the inner turret bot. I'm just going to ult your team, and Yasuo Jinx are gonna kill them all, and then we're gonna end the game.
Oh, let me tell you. Oh my.
I'm looking right here, and I'm thinking this is what happens. But
oh yeah.
So that's why playing aggressive is obviously really beneficial, because if you can get a lead in this game, then you can try and put it towards bot and put the Jinx behind so that she can't scale. So games like this is games where you need to find a way to get a lead early, and not just like farm it out. Because like while you outscale Malphite in the 1v1, the 1v1 is not what matters this game.
Yeah, I know. Kind of. I'll drop. I mostly go in, like I all in if I get when I get level 6, because of the, I don't know, I'm just always used to it. But right here, I'm pretty sure I see him push like towards his turret so he can just run away.
That's also the benefit of, because you've been keeping the wave like right here pretty much the entire game when you've had opportunities to let it slow push back to you. And what's good about a slow push is that in a free matchup like this, especially when he does his aftershock too, is that you can kind of just like go in on them when the wave gets right here. When the wave gets right here, you thin it down to like maybe 4 or 5 casters, and then at level 5 you can just strip go in on them, and they have to run all the way back here to turret while you're getting constant 30% move speed from vitals. So you can generally outrun them, and you'll definitely force his flash if the wave slow pushes to right here, and he walks up, and he's got a front vital, you will definitely force his flash. If you hit that front vital, you will definitely force it. So just you're not really like controlling your wave ideally for the matchup, if that makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
Because there have been times where you've been able to abuse him pretty hard if the wave was in the right spot, but. Interesting. Okay. That's not too bad. And then I'm assuming you TP back here? Oh no, you don't recall. How much wealth are you sitting on?
I don't even know.
15,
Oh,
55?
that much.
Yeah, I would have.
I think I just pushed this wave out, or I just killed the wave, and then went back for time at.
You don't want to kill this wave. What you want to do is, so see, this is perfect. What you want to do is you want to kill this melee and then recall and TP back, because that way you can get the wave to sit here. If you kill these casters, the wave is going to push back. And like we mentioned earlier, you want the wave to be as far as on your side as possible, obviously, because that way you can get kill pressure. Especially because he just R'd too, so if you get on him, he's just going to die. You can still save it here because another wave pushed up. So if you just leave 4 casters, the wave will stay. So like if you recalled right now, it would stay. It would stay here, and then TP back.
Yeah, but then since I saw him, like, oh.
Yeah. Definitely should recall here if you don't do it.
I remember when I did it. Pretty sure.
Because at this point you don't want a 1v1 because you've got a Dorn's Blade to his Bombing Cinder. So. Let's see. I was imagining you're gonna get T-Mat and T1 boots or T-Mat and longsword. You got TP, man. You're free to recall. Missing one melee is not the end of the world because of the TP. You can just recall and TP. You're not losing anything.
Yeah, I don't know what I was doing.
But doing this weird shit where you're like kind of like playing with him, where he's semi pushing the wave and you're like going up for vitals, it's just like you're not gaining anything off of it.
I think we call after this wave.
I would hope so, because if not, he's gonna kill you. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we call after this wave. Oh my god, what am I doing?
Oh no.
Holy shit.
Just recall a little farther back. Tell me you recall this way. Please tell me it completes.
I'm pretty. There you go.
Okay, alright. And you've got
my goodness.
2k gold. I'd buy T-Mat and double longsword. See what you do though.
I don't even know what I did.
Boots and longsword?
Oh.
Ruby crystal. Oh no.
Oh, it's for Sheen.
One thing too is that it's taking you way long to buy your items. I'm just gonna say that. Way too long to buy your items. Oh no! Don't tell me you don't TP back. Oh no.
Yeah, no, I don't.
What are you taking TP for if you don't use it in the first 10 minutes? If you're.
I don't know, because I had like the mindset that TP, to TP into like team fights and stuff like that. So I never know if I should use it or not. Pretty much.
Yeah. So pre 10 minutes, the first TPs are pretty much always used for lane. It's always used to get a good recall in for lane. So like, if nothing happens in your lane, and you have an opportunity to recall, just recall and buy T-Mat, and then TP back in. Because like, pre 10 minutes, there generally aren't like huge team fight spot. Like, unless they've got like a fucking Talon or a TF on their team where they can easily get to bot and stuff like that, then you're really not going to get punished for TPing to lane. And even then, your bot's going to die anyways, probably, so it doesn't really matter. So pre 10 minutes, always look for TP to lane with a good recall. So like, if you kill your opponent, you can TP back. If you die, you can TP back, obviously. That's what you want to be trying to be doing. Or like, getting the wave in a good spot, recalling, TP back. Like, especially if you can buy T-Mat, you should recall and TP back, pretty much. Especially when your opponent was like a recall up on you like that. Because I mentioned earlier that they can't dive you with
Yeah.
with those champs, but if you're Adorn's Blade to his bombies, and Urgot's gotten a bunch of recalls because he's a jungler, then you're going to get dove easily. Because if you're just sitting on fucking, you're sitting on 2k gold. Like,
Yeah. And this game, I was trying to split push, or yeah, pretty much I was split pushing top bot consistently, and then yeah, Malphite happened, and then my team died, and then
oh, Shiv gets a double kill.
yeah, the game started off well, but then went to shit.
Okay, so I would push this and then recall. Yeah, I don't know. So you see that your opponent isn't in lane, enough that you give him missing ping, right? So you notice that he's gone, but
Hmm.
then you walk down here for some reason, and then before start going up to push it. So like you see him
I
missing,
put
you've got Tiamat. No, you didn't put that word there right then. You put that when you got the lane the first time.
oh oh never mind.
You just kind of like walked right here and then one pick up. So like if you push it right there, he misses those 2 melees as well. It's not a huge deal, but stuff like that, like when you do that over and over again, it adds up to be pretty large XP differentials and gold differentials. So it's like right there, it wasn't a big deal, but sometime in the future, like it could be like the difference between like a whole wave, and you could get like a kill up on him just off of that. So, and then I want to talk about your build because you're buying a mana crystal for Sheen. So I I don't know if you go team at Triforce this game, but
Oh
since you
yeah,
bought a Sapphire Crystal, I'm assuming you do.
yeah,
I really hate that build. There are some people that think it's good, but I think it is very, very bad because Fiora's vitals are based off of a huge bonus ID ratio. Everything in her kit
hmm,
is based off of bonus ID, except for parry, but you don't really use parry for damage. So buying bonus ID gives you a lot more raw damage that you can use to kill everybody on your team. Because bonus ID is like, so Sheen is going to be effective against like Jinx and the Nami and the Yasuo, right? So like, because it's going to just be a bunch, it's going to just be like more flat damage on your Q from Sheen. So it's going to help you burst the squishies, but you're not going to be laning against the squishy. Especially because you said that, like you split push most of this game.
yeah,
Triforce doesn't really help you against Malphite. It doesn't like so most of your damage from Malphite because he's going to get a lot of armor because he's fucking Malphite. That's what he does. Is going to come from your vitals and Conqueror. So going Sheen and going Team at Tri doesn't really help you at all in the mid game. If you go Ravenous, in like Phage instead, then you get a bunch of bonus AD that empowers your vitals and makes you do more damage from Conqueror and shit like that. So that's why like and that's just generally going rushing Ravenous is good for like almost every lane. There are some lanes where I like to go like T-Mat and Phage because move speeds are helpful in them. But
hmm,
generally you want to complete Ravenous because it's got 80 bonus AD on it. And 80 bonus AD is like insane for Fiora because it's just a huge spike to complete it. Because like if you think about what you're getting here, you're just getting mana, which that's cool if Fiora has mana issues, but if you play correctly, they aren't really that apparent, especially in a lane like this. So
yeah.
buying a Sapphire Crystal doesn't really get you much. But if you'd bought a Longsword instead, you get 10 damage on every auto, and you get more damage on vitals and more damage on your crit. And your Q obviously, but you know.
Yeah. That's another thing then, cause I've been thinking about it lately. Like I'm not sure when I should build items or what items to build against champions. Like that can be with anyone too. Like I just always used to building either time at try or just rushing Ravenous then Triforce.
Yeah, usually you just want to rush Ravenous than Triforce. There used to be a few builds where you didn't want to do that, where because some items are OP. But right now we're in the dark ages of going back to Ravenous Triforce is generally the best build, which sucks
Hmm.
because that build kind of sucks, but there's really anything better than it. The only reason it sucks is because it's so expensive. It's literally like 7,800 gold. It's crazy expensive. So one thing I'm noticing that you're not doing is you're not and this is a pretty easy
Auto.
thing to fix. You're not autoing after your Q, yeah. So all it takes to do and make it really quick is you just Q and then you make sure you have them. You make sure you right click on them before the Q completes. So that way you'll Q and then right when you get in auto range and the Q ends, you'll just auto instantly. And it's especially useful if you're going for early kills too because if they flash, that auto will still complete 99% of the time because
Yeah.
they're going to flash most like if they don't flash the Q damage, they're also going to get hit by the auto damage. So lots of times it is the difference between getting an early kill or them flashing away and getting out. So you need to be working on doing that. It doesn't really take long to implement. It's just like you just need to make sure that you have an auto commando shield, so just right click on them before you queue. Before you queue or like during your queue, either one doesn't really matter.
Okay.
But so the problem with it, so it's useful because it's more DPS, right? But the problem is that lots of times when you first start doing it, if you don't like think about it fast enough, like if you aren't like, okay, I need to like QA here, like sometimes it'll fuck up your positioning. I'm trying to think of a way to word this, but like, so if you QAA to this back pedal here, right? Like say you're just on the other side of him for demonstration's sake. If you QA to this back pedal here, we know that the vital is going to spawn here or here.
Yeah.
But if you QAA, obviously you have to wait for the AA to complete, and you can break that animation by you know, just orb walking. But lots of times, what I see people do is when they start to QAA, they don't orb walk afterwards. So what will happen is you'll QAA and you'll just stand here and auto him again, which is not what you want to do. You want to QAA and instantly move around to this side. So you need to make sure that you're always moving up with the vitals, even when you're doing other things. It's kind of weird to micromanage at first, but you just need to make sure you should never really be. There are only a few situations where you should be like stopping and standing still on Fiora. You should almost always be moving around. So you need to make sure that even if you're like implementing QA into your playstyle, it's not making you stop. You need to QAA and just keep moving. Okay.
Oh, I remember this part.
You didn't go back in, do you?
Uh,
Oh
yeah.
no! Don't tell me you blast gun over and get killed by Orgod instantly, right?
No.
Oh, he didn't die. Nice. I figured he was just
Yeah,
going
no.
to take his Z off, or take his W off, and then just hit you with one leg and kill you instantly. Okay, so let's go back to this, because there's some things I noticed while you were fighting this Malphite. Okay. So first of all, we don't see Urgot. We don't know where he's at. That's okay.
No.
Actually, we do see him right here on the sword.
Oh.
Does this see him?
I don't think so. I didn't see him.
I think it sees him.
Unless I just wasn't paying attention.
I think it sees him. I'm not positive though, because that ward's in a pretty bad spot. If you want the ward, I don't know who placed this. I should find it. Should be like right here, so that way you can see River too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we see him.
Yeah, I did see him.
So, we see him. So, unfortunate that that you get ganks here still. But what I instantly noticed is that you split the vitals here, and splitting vitals is bad because when you think about like what you want to do in terms of like how fast you want to hit your vitals, like going around in a circle is almost always better because that way you can keep an easy path of movement. So like you can just go all the way around, all the way around. Whereas if you split the vitals like this, you go up and down or just left and right. Then you have to go here to here. Then you have to go to this side and then back to this side. So if you use your Q, especially because like if you use your Q to hit this vital here, then you have to auto this, and then you have to wait for your Q to come back up to hit this. And that's just a huge loss in DPS because there's no way you hit this vital without flashing or queuing after you get to this one. So it just requires so much more effort to hit that back vital there when you split it like that. Whereas if you go around a circle like this, it's way easier. There's also a perfect opportunity to talk about like what order you should be hitting vitals in. So when you ult someone, you want to hit the vitals that are closest to their escape path because those are going to be the ones that they can hide the easiest. So like say in this fight here,
Mhm.
You ult him, and then all of his vitals are up. You're gonna want to hit this one and this one. So like you want to hit this one and Q to this one, and then go around, because that way he's going to run back to his turret to get to safety, right? So that way he
Yeah.
runs and he just exposes these vitals to you. Whereas if you start with these two vitals down here, then he's going to run
Mhm.
away, and you're going to have to like flash on him or Q all the way over to the side to get to these two vitals, which is going to take more time. It's going to give him more time to flash, more time to ult away and stuff like that. So it's going to give your opponent more time to react to what you're doing. Whereas if you could do this, it gives him less time to escape, and it makes it just makes your life easier. To be honest, it makes everything. It makes your entire play pattern easier by doing that. So then here, so Urgot's level 6, you're level 9. His R is
Uh,
actually up here
yeah.
because he uses it down here. It's a spectator bug. So his R is actually up. So what I would have done, I wouldn't have ran this way. I would have
Queued onto
I
the
would have queued
vital.
down on that vital back there. Yeah, because he doesn't have anything up. Unless I'm not. I don't know if he actually has his blue smite up or not, because I know he blue smites you down here, but I don't know if it comes up then, because spectator's buggy obviously.
Yeah.
So this happens. Especially because right here, you get him with a 2-second stun, your Q's up, he's gonna be stunned for like another 1.5 seconds at this point after you Q. So you can just Q and just run away. And your flash is still up as well. So if you Q down there and you get away, then if he flashes after you, you just flash as well. And whatever, it happens. You got 2 other flashes in the gank. There's also something I noticed is that like when you're running away, or like when something like hectic is happening on the screen, you tend to like lose all track of vitals, and
Yeah.
that's not ideal. Because like there was, I'd go back to that level 4 play, but I don't know where the fuck it was at. It's like right here, something when Shiv ganks up here, there's like
Mhm.
a Malphite vital right in front of you that you could hit to get move speed and stuff, but the Urgot was right on top of you, right? So obviously you're not looking at the Malphite probably. So you can just like, you need to be looking at like where vitals are and what they enabled you to do, because that vital enables you to not this vital right here, like the one we talked about a few seconds ago, that one enables
Mhm.
you to not have to burn flash. So even though it doesn't actually like, even though it's not like, oh, I'm gonna hit all these vitals and kill them because it's a big outplay, woohoo, it's still something that's like um, it's small because it's just one vital and it's gonna take like 10 of his HP, but it's going to give you 40% move speed and you can just run away for free. So you need to keep track of like, you need to always keep track of what vitals are on your opponent, which is easier than it sounds, because they're literally like blinking arrows. So you should be able to see where they are at all times. The problem is that like when things get cluttered, it's kind of hard to see them sometimes. But usually it's pretty. It should be easy to always know where they're at and have a general idea of what they can enable you to do. So you kill this guy. You go up to push when you know his TP up. Oh. What the hell? Don't tell me you go to this with 400 HP. What? What?
I almost died to him. I mean, yeah.
I would have pushed top, because we know Malphite's dead. We know that he has TP up because I don't think he's used it all game. I don't think he used it all game. So we know he's got TP up. I would have just pushed this because their jungler's dead, Malphite's dead, so you got time to push this, push that in. And we see Yasuo mid, so you gotta just push it and get a better wave. Okay, still TP here. Alright, so go back top. At this point, I would tell your team to rotate your top to bot, or your bot to top, and you go bot, because they just took drag, especially right now. So right here, I would push this wave as hard as I can, recall, and tell this idiot MF to go top. So tell MF and not to just go top, because Malphite shouldn't be able to just 2v1 them. He doesn't have the damage to do that. He can hold them under turret, but with your bot lane being top, it lets them get rift trailed while you're bot, because you have TP up. Especially because Malphite just TP'd too. So if they move Malphite down bot to match you, and they just effectively, if they just swap lanes completely, like if they have both bot lanes top, that's a win for you, because your bot lane's ahead, and you're ahead of this Malphite, and you have TP up. So the correct play is definitely the swap lanes here with your bot, Cause like, especially cause right here, like, this is really chill for her to be up this far with Woody no mana. She has like
Yeah.
6 mana. She's up this far. So. This fight here. This is a pretty good fight for you guys. I would have Ardenami chased her down. But that's just me.
Yeah.
Bloodthirsty fuck.
I was thinking about it at the moment. I probably would have too if I actually thought about it.
Yeah, because she's
They
level
have Aura.
7. I don't know if your team's been pinging sums or not. It doesn't look like they have. But if you turn on timestamps in chat, I don't know if you have it or
Yeah.
not, but you have timestamps on in chat. When you ping sums, you can just look at the timestamp to see the cooldown timer. So if your team pings sums as well, you can use that. But even if you don't know what sum she has, it's level 7 Nami. You're not gonna get killed by her, so you just R her and then run her down, and then she either flashes exhausts you away, or she just snuff him up and she dies. So you instantly R there, which, you know, it doesn't really, this fight doesn't really make a difference because obviously he ults away, but you instantly R there instead of waiting to see what the first vital is like. So if you don't instantly R, because obviously while your R is up, no other vitals can spawn, but if he walks in this bush and you have vision on him, he's going to get a vital on him, so you can get 5 vitals off instead of 4, which doesn't matter there, but in a situation where he can't get away, it's a big DPS increase that you should be looking out for. You guys get Rift here. It's good. So you guys are actually in a pretty good position to end this game before they get scaling, if you play correctly.
Which we didn't.
Yeah, unfortunately you didn't.
Like, look at me. Oh my.
Yeah, you should just be bot here. There's no reason for you, especially because, yeah, now your bot has also swapped. They've also done the correct play. They've swapped now. So now you can go bot with TP up and just chill. Which hopefully you do here. Oh, now we go for a little rumble in the jungle here.
I died there.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess they don't even kill this guy either.
No.
I don't know why he's running, they both have no mana.
I think he does die. Yeah.
Looks like Shiv saves the day.
Yes. I was about to say where am I, but I forgot I died.
Yeah, you're fucking dead. Alright. Oh no, do you sell your vamp or did you already have that? Tell me you didn't sell that vamp. Tell me you undid that.
Oh, wait, no, I was saying the thing. I undid everything.
Yeah, you undid it. Okay, good. I was just making sure. Okay, so
I was just
even
saying undo on everything.
yeah, I get it. Yeah. I was just making sure you didn't sell it because that would have been bad. So even though you don't have Ravenous done, you know, you did the build I don't like. It's okay because it's still a power spec, right? So since you have Triforce done, you're still power specking hard over the Malphite. So you can get this for free pretty easily. So they channel Rift, good. I was just about to say they should channel Rift here to get the mid turret. Because mid turret's the most important turret in the game. It lets you easily get vision in the side of the jungle. So if you want to snowball your lead, you want to do it so you can take mid turret if possible.
I have to actually get in there.
What the fuck am I watching?
So real. Oh yeah, no. I forgot Jinx is alive, so yeah, then that happened.
Shouldn't be an issue here. Yeah, you sit in the chompers. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even notice those.
Yeah, You probably win that there if you flash it after Jinx, but you stood still like a second too long and you got caught in the chompers, so you just die there. You also, I don't know if you've noticed, but you have like 0 lifesteal. You have 3% lifesteal.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you went Alacrity or if you went Bloodline, but I'm guessing you went Alacrity because of how little lifesteal you have, because it's just.
Yeah.
So I like to go Bloodline because I think 14% lifesteal for free is really OP. You can go
Yeah.
Alacrity if you want, but I just prefer Bloodline because in situations like that, that extra attack speed is going to get you like 1 auto off, and obviously that's not the difference. If you have maybe 300 more HP from Bloodline, you can maybe take 2 more Jinx autos if she doesn't crit, so it can sometimes makes a difference. The one thing that Alacrity is good for though is it's better for splitting, because you hit the turrets faster, so it'll definitely be more turret DPS at all times, but it also means less lifesteal and clutch moments like that where it could make a difference. Okay. So you still got TP up. 20 minutes and TP has not been used. Oh no, you go bot. So, okay, so your team's on Dragon, right?
Yeah.
So, team's on Dragon, so what you would think is that you want to go top to get pressure opposite of the Dragon. But, Dragon's like already dead. So there's no reason to go top. You should be bot because Baron is up right now. Baron is up. You've got TP up. Malphite has TP up as well. So you need to be making sure that you need to be trying to make sure that Malphite has to stay bot, because they should not be able to engage a team fight if Malphite's not there. Malphite is literally their only engage. Like the only other way they can get in is if they get is if your team stands still for Nami wave, or if they get hit by Urgot E from Woody max range, which should never happen. So they cannot force a fight without Malphite there. So if you force Malphite to come bot, that is your win condition. Your team is pretty ahead right now too. The only person on the team that has any gold is Yasuo and Malphite. And Malphite, well, Malphite has a lot of gold. One, he can't really kill you unless you like fuck up. Like if you go for an all-out 1v1, there's a chance he kills you because you don't have any lifesteal at all. Because like you can't lifesteal through any of his damage. So it's just going to be a pure stat check at that point. Whoever has more damage is going to win. Which I'm worried that he might at this point because he's got a lot of armor and you don't have much AD for vitals. So knowing that both of them have TP, you don't have to 1v1 him though. That's the thing. You both have TP, so you just want to keep him bot so that if he wants to go to a team fight at Baron, he has to TP for it. If he wants to go to a team fight at mid, he has to TP for it. Because that way next time, hopefully you don't lose the fight like just straight up. And that way you can keep your TP up and then keep your bot pusher up while Baron's up with your TP. So that way that Malphite can't TP for the next fight, and he's the only way they can engage. So if you manage to get him to burn his TP somehow by splitting bot, it's almost like a GG for your team, because their team cannot engage at all time Malphite. And that's generally how the split push is with most tanks. You either get to a point where you can 1v1 them, dive them under turret, which usually is pretty easy. It's usually like 2 or 3 items. If they don't buy Bramble Vest, you can just go under turret and dive them over and over again. They're just free kills. And most of the time, in solo queue at least, tanks are going to be the main engage of the team. So if they pick a tank top laner, like say like they pick like, fuck if I know, like they pick like Scion or Ornn or like Nautilus or something top. Like they're going to be sitting bot because they have to manage your split. If you're at 3 items, you can dive them, and if you're not at 3 items, then it's okay. And if you can't dive them, it's okay. You're still keeping them bot. You're still keeping the engage away from their team. And that's generally how you win games, is by just doing that over and over again.
Yeah.
Zeraster dies here. That's good. I would tell your team to go to Baron right now. I would go to Baron. So they have like no damage at this point. They've got Malphite and Jinx. Jinx is 1 item compared to MF's 2. MF ults here. If MF doesn't ult here, like Baron is free. You guys have pretty good Baron DPS with Shyvana, with Blood Rise or Shyvana. So I would try and get Baron here. And if it doesn't work out, you just leave. It's whatever. They don't have the damage to kill you without Yasuo. They may have the damage to get you off Baron with Malphite ult and stuff. But it shouldn't be like a game-ending team fight, and it shouldn't be a team fight that gets them Baron. So you don't have anything to really lose by going for Baron here. You either get Baron and basically win the game off of that, or you just get pushed off Baron. So it's just whatever. And you still go top. After your team takes Dragon, you need to recall and go bot here. Like there's never a situation where you should be top with TP up while Baron is up. Really, there's almost never. Unless there's like somebody you can't split against in the side lane, bot lane, then you just really shouldn't be doing this. You always want to try and split opposite of where the objective is if possible. And it's very possible right now.
Yeah.
If you have TP up, of course. If you don't have TP up, it's different, but if you got TP up.
Yeah, that's where it comes in when I don't really know when I should be using TP or when. It's just my
Do you die
placements are
here?
horrible. I think I do. After I take. Oh no, never mind.
They should have killed you there. I don't know what they were doing. They like, you were pretty free. Yeah, you definitely should have backed off here though, because well, they didn't kill you here. Most of the times they will because of that. So let's look back, see what happens. So your team's sieging mid, right? And all of a sudden, we can't see anybody on the map. Literally nobody. Nobody on the new team is in vision. And so they're either going for you, or they're going for MF. And or they're just doing the random shit where they walk around the jungle here, which they did, which won't happen all the time. So you're either flipping a coin that they're going for MF or they're going for you. So if you like your odds, go for the turret, I guess. But it's a little bit easier to split like this if you get vision right here. That way you can see when they're rotating up. But you don't have any wards to place, so Yeah, place the ward. I'm guessing this ward. Yeah, this ward's pretty useless. This ward's pretty useless for you. It doesn't really do anything. Like, if you think about like what person's actually going to walk through here while you're up here, they just won't, because they're going to have to run. They're just going to have to run through here or run through here. So you're getting a ward either like in any of these three bushes right here, right here, right here. It's going to help splitting make splitting easier, and your team just warded that, so that's nice. So getting a ward in these bushes helps, because that way you can know if they're actually coming for you. So that way it's not actually a coin flip. So that way you know that they're coming for you or they're coming for MF.
Yeah.
Don't have to take any odds. What the fuck just happened? Did you hear that?
Yeah.
What the fuck was that? Did Jinx Rocket like bug out? What the fuck, my ears? And then your team. So this is like this is one of those games where it's kind of unlucky, because your team doesn't see Malphite in the map, and they don't have vision right here, which is prime Malphite ult spot, and they just walk up to the turret and die. Especially because the big mistake in this play is that both Shyvana and Nautilus walked up, and what's troll about that is that they're melees, right? So walking up to get in melee range of the turret against a Malphite is like certain death. So this is one of those games where it's like, your team kind of puts you behind here, so it's unlucky, but I'm guessing they all die here. Yeah. Oh my god, that's loud.
Yeah.
Well, the weirdest part about this too is that like if you want to have the biggest troll part of that is that MF is bot. Like, so the melees walk up. Honestly, because they only have Ahri to auto the turret, which...
Yeah.
So MF should not be splitting here. For one, you should definitely be bot, like we talked. You should definitely be bot this whole time. With TP up and Baron up, while your team's strateging mid, especially. Definitely should be you bot. If MF wants to split, or if Ahri wants to split, they should be top. So that way they can actually help the team. But if you want to have anybody splitting, it should be Ahri. Because MF can clear waves okay, and MF can actually auto the turret and not die. And MF stands still and wins the 1v1 against Yasuo. Well played. This MF is like a top laner trapped in a fucking ADC's body. All she does is split, dog. And it's sad because she has the most gold in her team.
They got autofilled jungle, and they said that they can only play ADC. So I'm like, oh.
Huh. Weird.
Yeah, so the jungler swapped with them.
Okay. Man, you got a lot of gold, don't you? You don't have any. Holy shit, you're weak. Holy moly.
Yeah.
God damn. Oh yeah, it's got 128 CS. Yeah. That'll do it.
Yeah, no, that 2v2, that's where I messed up my CS, and that's when I was sad. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I was doing so well.
So, better wave control in lane would help your CS not be this low,
Yeah.
and then being in the right side lane at all times would also help your CS. So if you were bot this entire game, you'd have more CS, because if they pressure you bot, your team's just gonna get Baron. So, like, because if when they pressure you top and make you get forced off of CS, they don't get your team doesn't really get anything for that. They maybe get like an auto on mid turret. doesn't really make a difference. But if they go for you bot, because like obviously you scale really hard against Malphite, so you getting farm is pretty good. So if you're bot and they try to stop you from farming, then from farming and splitting, then your team just gets Baron.
Yeah.
And then obviously, oh my god, managing your wave better and letting it slow push towards you more instead of being up like this would help you lose this CS, because when the turret's up and your wave is stuck like this, lots of times they're going to be caster minions that are just inside turret range that you can't auto without going up into turret range, and at that point you're just way too far up at that point if you're going for that. So there's so many benefits most of the games to having the wave on your side of the map, which you just never did. And
I died. Oh yeah, no. Oh, I was mad. I queued into her bubble.
you queue in
That
the
was
bubble.
tragic. And I died.
Yeah, you queue in the bubble, but it doesn't really matter. You weren't gonna do anything there anyways. It was basically 5v2 at that point, so you just lose. And that was your team like going for a team fight when they see that Malphite's there, which is just like they have Malphite Yasuo. If you see those two together, you should not be clumped. You should not be going for a team fight.
Yeah,
And
I was just saying to stay spread out for that reason.
And mostly, well, okay, so like there's this fucking idea that like you can just spread out against Malphite ult, but there are so many times when like either you're sieging, like if you think about how much space you have right here, or like right here in the jungle, you can't just spread out. Like there's no, like he's always going to get at least 2 or 3 people in his ult, and that is enough to win a fight with Yasuo ult and Jinx. So you just should not be looking for fights against them. You should not. Like if you had been bot this whole time here, this team fight probably never happens, because your team probably is not going to walk up and down like this. They're not going to walk up and down like this because they're going to think like, oh, they might be dumb and think like, oh, Fiora's not here, we can't fight. Like that's a benefit for you. Your team being dumb and saying that they can't fight without you, that's fine, because you don't win team fights. You don't want a team fight. So let your team be dumb, and if they continue to be dumb and try to do this, you tell them, hey, I'm going to split bot, and I'm going to save bot. You guys take Baron. I'm not leaving bot. But let them know that you have TP up. Ping a TP once or twice while you say that. Because, you should be TPing to a fight if fight happens on Baron, but like, this is one of those games where you need to just say, fuck your team and do your own thing, because whether you're there or not, this fight doesn't change. You being here does not change your team being dumb. You being bot while this happens gets you the inhib, and that keeps you in the game, because they can't get Baron with that inhib down usually. So that's the type of stuff where it's just like, it looks like it's like, oh, my team forces engaged, right? Because they did. That was a big mistake for them. But had you not been here, they might not do it, and you might get this instead if they do it still. And Malphite flashes. Okay.
Yeah, I saw them. Oh,
Like
the heat of the moment.
Oh no, you TP top? Oh no, that's not good. You just lost all your Baron pressure. The first TP of the game, and it's
Yeah.
like.
In that part, would I TP bot or would I just? Oh, well,
just
should
run
I have
bot.
done?
Just run bot.
Just run.
You don't need a TP bot. What, like you can TP this, get the wave. Like just run bot and chill. Run bot. You won't, like in this situation, using your TP is a last ditch move. It is like using your TP is not something that you want to be doing, because at this point in the game you want to be using your TP to Baron fights or to a team fight that's top, because you want to be putting pressure on the opposite side of the map from your team. Always at this point in the game. You like, unless you were like obscenely fed, then maybe you want to group with your team and try and force a team fight. But you are not obscenely fed. You should always be trying to look for split pressure here. And using a TP like this, sure, you get this inner turret, but this inner turret doesn't really matter. If you guys get Baron, this inner turret goes down in 2 seconds. If you get this, if you go bot, your team can take this inner turret for free, because they can't really hold against it if Malphite's not there. So what's going on in this game is that Malphite keeps grouping with his team and he's not getting punished for it because you're not in the right position in the side lanes.
Yeah.
Because like Malphite's only use to his team is the fact that he's there engaged. He doesn't do shit against you in the side lane. Like we talked that he can maybe kill you if you go for one all in, but you just don't do that. You just go up and hit the turret when you can, and you just keep him away from his team because that's why they win this game. They don't win this game by slowly waiting it out while you split push them to death. They win this game by forcing them to engage with Malphite when they get two or three item spikes. And then I'm guessing this is like basically game over. Imagining they get. Yeah, and see, like now Ahri split pushing without TP. And the best part about this is that when you're in a side lane, and it's the right, and then it's the right move, it usually means that your dumbass teammates won't go to the side lane because they'll see you there and they'll be like, I don't want him taking my CS. So that means usually they won't go to the side lane. So that's better for you because that means they're actually going to play smart by being greedy. Like, what does Ahri even get this turret? Like, yeah, I'm guessing Ahri gets this turret. And then
they stay.
And stays. And does she die to this? Tell me she doesn't die to this.
No, she shouldn't have.
No. Yeah. Oh no,
Oh,
she
never mind.
dies.
Oh, never mind.
What
Maybe.
the fuck? What a mess. Okay, so it doesn't look like the game is quite over yet. But then she does that. Yeah, if Ahri doesn't die here, you guys can maybe hold out. But that's just like, that happens. It's not really something you can do. There's nothing really you can do. Oh no. So they're wasting their Baron pretty hard. Their Baron is like halfway gone already. Chat's too fucking... I don't know how to move that, but... The Baron's like halfway gone already. So they haven't really used the Baron very well. But the problem is that with this team comp, when they get Baron, they pretty much win the game. Because they just Malphite you and win. So when they get Baron, Malphite has no need to try and match him split anymore. He can just group with his team because you can't punish him. You try to punish him for that, he's just going to ultra team and win the game at this point. Because they have Baron. So that's why that's especially why that not using your TP poorly like you did is so important during the mid game. Because when a team like this gets Baron where they have engaged, they have two huge damage dealers, especially because they're on their 3M spikes as well. They have two huge damage dealers on 3M spikes, and they haven't engaged they can force on their team. When they get Baron, they're just going to run mid and clear team. Your split doesn't matter at this point. You being top doesn't matter. You being mid doesn't matter. You don't have an impact on this game anymore. Because they're just going to Malphite ult, and somebody's going to die. And as soon as MF dies, as soon as like Shyvana dies even, like they can just kill everybody else. Especially because MF has to stand still to ult. So
Yeah, no, the game was over. Ur got backed. I was trying to back. Actually, no. This is what kind of tilted me a bit. Nautilus kept pinging me to take the turret, but as soon as I was gonna back, so and I'm assuming, oh, they might have something like planned. But then I see that the inhib goes down. After that, I'm trying to back. Urgot came and just stopped my back. I saw Ahri die. Yeah, let's see that. There it is. I was trying to back and Urgot stopped my back.
yeah, you need to just say fuck your team. Don't listen to their fucking pings. Mute their pings if you have to. Like, assume your team knows nothing because they most likely do. So you like, unless you're in like, unless you're in like high elo, your team fucking useless. Don't give a shit about them. If you make the wrong play, at least commit to the wrong play. All right, don't like this wishy-washy shit. This is what loses games. Obviously, going for the wrong play and just split pushing here brain deadly loses the game. But at least you will probably realize that right after you do it. That is something that is really easy to notice. You'll be like, man, maybe if I had recalled, that game's totally different because I can try and help my team fight this. But going like back and forth, it just confuses you, and then you don't gain anything from it.
Oh, hang on.
So it looks like they end here. Yeah. All right.
Oh yeah, that was the game pretty much.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, I think.
Yeah. So play more aggressively.
Yeah. Okay. So overall takes from that. You need to a big one. You need to QAA. Make sure it doesn't stop your. Make sure it doesn't stop. Make sure it doesn't prevent good movement though. That's a big key. So make sure you QAA. Play more aggressively in lane when you have favorable vitals. You have lots of favorable vitals, like vitals that are facing towards you that are very easy to hit, very free to kill, or not very free to kill, but very free to hit, free damage on your opponent that you just didn't take. It's
Yeah.
Those vitals aren't something that you can. Like there was one time where he was up by his turret where you could all in him off that vital, but lots
Mhm.
of times they aren't vitals that you can all in off of. They're just vitals that you hit to pressure your opponent a little bit. You hit it, they get off of a few CS. You hit it, they lose 100 HP, and you can just do that over and over again. So just you need to be more aggressive when you have favorable vitals. You need
Mhm.
to pay more attention to your wave control, and especially based on matchup, because when you have champions like that, that they can't really run away without using a big cooldown. Like say
Mhm.
you're getting like Vladimir, Malphite, stuff like that. If they when you get a slow push towards you, they can't run
Yeah.
away without blowing a big cooldown. Like Vladimir can't get away without using his W. Malphite can't get
Yeah.
away without using his R most of the time. So if they slow push towards you, and you get a favorable vital, and you go for an all-in, they can't get away unless they use a flash, they use big cooldown, and if they use that big cooldown, then you do it again, and next time they die. And then you just do that over and over again, and you build a lead in lane. So when you have champions that don't have extremely reliable gap closers, so like if they don't have a gap closer without using something that makes them extremely vulnerable, then try and get the wave to slow push towards you, like pretty much all the time. Unless you get like really far behind and you can't win it all in, you should be trying to get a slow push against those champions, because that way, or slow push against you towards against those champions. So you want the
Yeah.
minions slow pushing towards you, because that way you can just run them down. That's part of the strength of champions like Fiora in top lane, is that the lane is very long. So if they're in a bad position, like if the enemy's in a bad position, you can just run them down if you're ahead. That's why they're so infuriating to play against too. And you want to use it. And then another overall is to use TP pre 10 minutes. So
Mhm.
like you have plenty of times that you could have recalled during that game where you could get T-Mat for wave control, and then like not wave control, but with T-Mat you can just spam push him in, and then
Mhm.
look for roams, look for deep vision, stuff like that. So look for a TP into lane pre 10 minutes,
Yeah.
so that way you can get a better recall off, and you can try and kill your opponent. Because that game, you sat with a Thorn's Blade against a Bummy Cinder for like a solid 3 minutes. That is 3 minutes of times where you have no pressure at all on your opponent, because you spent 450, he spent like literally 2,000. There's just no way you're ever going to win that 1v1. So you can't pressure your opponent, you can't get a lead with that. So that's one of the reasons why you need to get a recall early with that TP. And then the biggest error of the game, in my opinion, was your side lane management late
Slow
game.
push.
Side lane
Yeah.
management late game. You just were almost always in like the wrong side lane or in the wrong spot with your team. So they just kind of the Malphite was never punished for doing anything. So the Malphite's always going to force a team fight or two with your team, right?
Mhm.
But the problem is, usually those team fights aren't enough to win the game off of. That's why you split push, so that he team fights there. Your team maybe gets 2 or 3 kills, maybe lose mid outer or something. That's fine. And then you get the bot and hip, and then you do it again, and next time you get a Nexus turret, and next time you end the game. Or you get a bot and hip, and you just end the game off a bot and hip next time it happens. So the problem was that you were never in a perfect position. Not even it doesn't have to be a perfect position. You were never in any position to punish the Malphite for grouping with his team. And that is just a huge split push blunder, and that's something that's pretty easily fixed. You just need to generally try to split opposite where the objective is. So if a dragon's bot,
Split top.
split top, keep your bot lane bot, because 2 people are going to more than likely be stronger than you being bot. And then if say your bot lane takes dragon, or if it's a cloud dragon, something that you don't really need, like if it's a cloud dragon bot and Rift Herald's up, and your bot lane takes turret, watch your bot lane rotate top, because that way they can get rift trailed, and you can split bot and apply pressure.
Mhm.
And this wasn't relevant for this game, but if you get your turret early on in the game, like if you kill the enemy's turret, and what you want to do is that you're gonna have teammate obviously, so you take their turret, and if that happens, you want to push your wave top lane as hard as you can when you can. So you want to see like their jungler go bot or something, and push wave as hard as you can and take rift, because like I mentioned earlier, mid turret is the most important turret in the game, mid outer, because it lets you snowball your lead effectively through vision, and just split push in general, because it's way harder to split push when mid outer is up than it is when it's down, because the minion wave is going to take way less time to actually be useful for the enemy team when mid turret is when mid outer is up rather than mid tower is down. So if you get a lead in lane with if you get a lead in lane and you manage to take turret, just push wave as hard as you can, get rift, and try and use it mid to open up the map, and then start splitting and stuff like that. All right,
Okay.
that's all I can think of right now.
Yeah.
All right.
All right then. Thank you, Owen.